Now batting, number 14, Patrick Bailey.
All right, Patty. Here we go, baby. It's Patrick Bailey time. Everybody says I can't hit. What they don't know is I gotta save it. I gotta save it for the moments that matter. And this moment matters. We got 2 runners on, down by 2, bottom of the 9th. That's what they call Patty Bales time. Patty Bales? Is that what I'm going with? Really? Huh? Oh, I got to get in the box. Right, okay. Here we go. What you got, Romano? What you got? Romano? Ah, who cares? Here it comes. Oh, pa! Oh, I pured it. Look at that go. Oh, snap. I'm in Oracle Park. Come on, George. We got to sprint if we're going to get across the Potomac. Here we go. Around first. Oh, it's off the top of the wall. It's rolling towards Market Street. I'm going to go. Where's Maddie? Oh, he's waving me home. Around third. Oh, yeah. Wait, where's Maddie going? Where you going, Maddie? Oh, I almost missed home plate. Step on home plate. Home run, baby. Home run. Crash into the wall. Oh, God. Wait, what? Who's pulling my shirt off? What? Coke Gatorade. So cold. Patty Bales time.
The Giants are rolling. The vibes are flowing. It's time for Giant Cocktails. Here are your hosts, Finn and Matthew Henry.
Welcome to episode 308 of Giant Cocktails. Before I give you the corresponding tidbit to that number, Ben, I must say I'm really impressed with your ability to do all those things in one take. One take, Ben. That's what they call you.
I don't do anything, Matthew. I just put the microphones on the players and then they do the rest.
Got it. That's right.
Yeah, that was actually Patrick Bales. Okay. Patrick Bailey. Just like it was Elliot the last 2 times.
That's right. All right. Well, Ben, did you know that Orlando Baby Bull Cepeda and Donovan Donnie Barrels Solano hit 308 over their careers with the San Francisco Giants?
I did not know that.
Hall of Famer, one of them not.
Yeah, one of them played for the Giants for a lot longer, so that's a little bit more impressive.
It is. But they both had nicknames, so that's kind of cool.
I mean, I was about to say I have a nickname, but I don't. I don't.
No,
oh,
you
Benry.
Don't.
People call me Benry occasionally.
That's right.
That's not a nickname so much as a contraction, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're right. They did both have nicknames, and that's something.
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Let's do it.
All right, Bob. I'm drinking what I'm calling a Smokey Watermelon Margarita.
Wait.
And I'll tell you all about it at the end of the episode. What do you mean, wait?
Okay, look, no, we made an agreement. One of us was going to do a watermelon cocktail, and one of us was going to do a tequila cocktail. That's what we said.
No, what I heard was that we were going to do a tequila watermelon cocktail.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's right. We're twinsies.
We're twinsies. Folks, we didn't plan this. We never plan our drinks ahead of time. And it's just scary how many times we show up and we're like the same spirit, the same drink. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you get 2 watermelon cocktails with tequila in it tonight.
Right. Yeah. You know the whole nature versus nurture question? Nature rears its head, and every time that it does, it feels really just bad. If you have a brother or a sister out there, you're basically half of them. And let's face it, in DNA terms, what that means is that you're 99.9999% them. Anyway, I am drinking a cocktail called a Watermelon Daiquirita.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, apparently. I haven't even had any yet. And I will tell you what's in it at the end of the show, but I bet you could guess. And that's what I'm drinking, Bob.
I'm guessing it's at least watermelon and tequila. All right. Well, today, Ben, is Wednesday, July 9th. But for our intents and purposes, today didn't exist. Okay?
That's right.
Can we just agree on that? Didn't happen.
We can, but it means the Giants had to forfeit today.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I wish they
It would
kind of
have been
had.
better if they just...
Yeah, it
exactly.
would have been. It would have been if they had forfeited because, one, nobody would have gotten tired, and two, the score would have been better.
Well, run differential took a beating today, that's for sure.
It sure did. And most of those
Well,
runs,
and it would have been worse if the Phillies had hit the extra point.
That is true. I figured they just hit 2 field goals because they were being nice.
Oh, maybe that was it. I stopped watching in the second half. So.
Yeah, in the second half, yeah. It's funny. I mean, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this now, but I left during the 7th inning, and then I came back during the top of the 8th. I saw that 1 run was in, and Beck had the bases loaded, and I was like, nope. Nope. I'm going to go watch Patrick Bailey highlights. And that's what I did.
Let's stay in our happy zone. Let's just watch Patrick Bailey.
Yeah. I got to watch all of the Phillies announcers' calls of the event, and boy, there were some good ones. I'm going to talk about those later.
All right. Well, Ben, the Giants were 2-1 since we last recorded. And I'll take it, right? That brings our record to 51-43. Ben, that means that we are second in the National League West, 5 games behind the Dodgers, who have lost 6 in a row, I might add.
That's incredible, dude. Like, 2 weeks ago, they were tied. 4 days ago, 5 days ago, they were 9 games out, close to 10. Now they're 5 games out.
And we're playing them the next 3 games.
It's a beautiful thing. That's right. We could sweep them and be within 2. This seems unlikely to me.
It does seem unlikely, which makes this reason that they got swept by the Brewers, who are the team that we are currently directly behind as the 3rd wild card. So actually, the Dodgers did not do us any favors by getting swept by the Brewers. We would have had a better chance to make the playoffs if the Dodgers had actually beaten the Brewers. But,
yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, when do the Dodgers ever do anything good for anyone?
Yeah. Ben, all I got to say is that thank goodness we still have half the season left. Jackie Robinson.
That's it.
That's it. That's the only thing.
That's the one thing.
That's it.
It's kind of a big thing, but moving on.
All right, moving on. Well, what are we going to talk about today? Well, of course, we're going to talk about the Phillies series, but frankly, we're going to talk about the first 2 games mostly. Okay. I mean, I like I said, the 3rd game didn't exist. And then I just started thinking that it feels like a better lineup now that Casey Schmidt is back. Like the Giants feel like a better team, even since Matt Chapman has returned. I mean, just starting to get our pieces back. And so I thought we could dig into that a little bit. So we'll talk about that and maybe try and project how the offense will go forward. So we're going to talk about that. But first...
Did you know, Matthew, that if a runner intentionally bats down a ball that could be a double play, by rule, he and the batter runner are both supposed to be out?
I think I just saw something on John Boy, though, where a guy did that. Like he grabbed the ball and then forfeited himself, and then the umpires didn't call it.
Yeah, because the umpires were stupid.
Oh.
It literally says in the rule book that if you intentionally field a ball or touch the ball, and that guy clearly intentionally fielded it. Like he went down like a shortstop.
Yeah, he fielded it like he was a shortstop. Yeah.
And then he smartly runs off the field. But the problem is that like he was so smug. I would have loved for the umpires to actually call the way it is written in the rule book, which says that if he does it intentionally, there's 2 outs. Him and the batter are supposed to be out. So everybody's calling that guy the smartest guy in the field because he made a play because the umpires were dumb. And that's my tidbit.
Okay. All right. Well, I got nothing. So I'm glad you had something. I'm glad you had something. So maybe we should talk about the Phillies series.
That's right. I believe they played there was only 1 inning in that series, right? It was the bottom of the 9th on Tuesday. That's the only inning in the whole series.
No, okay, but first I got to do something.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I know what you got to do. Hayden, listen. I get it. The cacas are way more annoying than the roop. But they're for you, bro. You gotta pull it together, man. You pull it together. Listen, he's gonna run out of innings anyway. You're gonna be the only one left. Come on, bro. Give me some cacas.
Bob and I are firmly in Landon Roop's corner, right?
Landon Roop for Cy Young.
I mean...
That's right. That's right. And at this pace, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he might, because he's been real good. He's been real good.
And just so you know, gosh, maybe a week or two ago at this time on Giants Talk, they interviewed JP Martinez. Oh. And JP Martinez basically said, we don't have an innings watch on Landon Roop. He's a big boy now, and he's going to pitch.
Wow.
So... yeah, I think that's the Buster Posey maybe influence, right? Like, we've got Major League Baseball players and we're going to treat them like Major League Baseball players. So
well, that was one of the first things he said, that they were going to stop doing that in the minors, which thank God. I always thought that was the dumbest thing because, then you bring them up and they're like not ready. Like, the one thing they're supposed to do in the minor leagues is get ready for the major leagues. And you weren't doing that. I get it that you don't want people to get hurt, but it took the extreme too far.
Agreed.
Also, Matthew, did you know that we interviewed somebody from Giants Talk?
We did. We interviewed.
And they
Alex
interviewed
JP Martinez.
That's right. So it's almost like we interviewed JP Martinez.
Yep, by a transitive property.
That's right. Yeah,
it's the only thing I remember from math class.
That's right.
That and the
That's how
Pythagorean
big
theorem.
we've gotten in our podcast. Oh, by the way, Alex Pavlovich's book is out now. You don't have to pre-order it. You can just order it.
It is sitting in the Amazon box that it came in yesterday, still on my kitchen table because it got brought in and I didn't know it.
Oh, you didn't know.
Okay,
so you didn't tear it open.
So I was like, so tonight, man, I'm breaking open my copy and start reading.
Still no audio recording, as I understand it. So I might just have to break down and buy it.
You might. John Miller just not available to read it, I guess.
I guess not. Anyway, game one, Landon Roop, he was great.
Yeah, he didn't get the win, but he was great. He was great. Because the Giants had to wait to score their runs, as usual.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do as you can do with the... Like, I feel like the Giants pitchers know that it's not about victories. I mean, except for Justin. Justin doesn't know that. But the rest of them do. It's about whether or not the team wins on the day you pitch.
Exactly.
And that was a great start. Kept the Giants close. You know, the bullpen came in, did what the bullpen does. The offense,
It was the weirdest rally in the inning ever. Did they score without getting a hit? It seemed like there was like no hits in that inning.
Listen, Matthew, it's not how they do it. It's that they do it. Okay? Listen, and this offense, I'll have you know, is slightly better than it used to be. As you said, we're going to talk about later in the show.
We are going to talk about it. It is slightly better, and we will definitely talk about that. But let's talk about game two now.
Yeah, it's because this was the game. This was the whole series. This might be the whole season.
Exactly.
This was the game.
It could be. I mean, there was. I got to admit, I was not feeling optimistic. Especially after the seventh, when they scored 2 more runs and all of a sudden they're down 3-1.
Yeah, that sucked.
I just kind of let the air out of my sails for sure. But I stuck through it, man. I sat there and I was like, no, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch the end.
And I don't like a Kyle Schwarber home run. Like I would, if you ask me, who do you not want to see beat you on the Phillies? And I don't mean that like from a strategic standpoint. I mean that as a fan. Like, which one is going to upset you the most? And there's a lot of guys over there that I don't want to see do well. Big old messy beard. He kind of sucks anyway, but I don't want to see him beat me. Mr. Slides on his ass everywhere. Don't want to see that guy do well. Hate that guy. Every time he slides in the dirt, he thinks he's Superman or something. He thinks he's the greatest thing that ever slid on dirt. Hate that guy.
There's the guy with all the hair products.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, that guy. That's the guy, right? That's the guy that, we should have signed him. Like, you know what? I'm glad we didn't sign him. Not worth it, Matthew. It wasn't worth the money.
I just wonder, like, once they stocked the locker room with his hair products and he didn't sign, like, who used them? Did like somebody else use them, or did they just throw them away?
I think they gave it to Brandon.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Brandon's like, I'll take it.
I was going to say, yeah. Crawford just made it out. And he went through it really fast, because he's got so much hair.
It's like 2 days worth.
Yeah. So that's probably what happened. But like, so I never want to see Bryce Harper beat the Giants, right? That's the guy that I hate the most. But then when Schwarber does it, you're just like, oh, yeah, that guy. No, I don't like that. He's like, he's like the Jock Peterson of the Phillies. Just like, oh, God. This guy, he can only do two things, and unfortunately he did the thing, and then two guys scored, and yeah, I was not feeling great, but I don't know, Matthew, I had a tingle, you know what I mean? I had a tingle, I had a feeling, and then Casey Schmidt comes up,
he lines that ball in the left field corner.
First pitch of the inning, kaboom! Was it the first pitch or the second pitch? I can't remember. All of the hits were early in the at-bats. The longest at-bat...
They had a game plan. They did,
for sure. They certainly did. The longest at-bat in that inning was Jung-Hoo Lee's, which ended in typical Jung-Hoo Lee fashion. Inconsequential pop-up that almost was consequential, but not because of Jung-Hoo Lee. I don't think he could say that I put a lot of spin onto it and I made the guy almost drop the ball. But no, like, I think, I can't remember Schmidt, but Schmidt was either the first or second pitch of the at-bat. Wilmer was the second pitch of the at-bat after he got...
it was the second pitch for Schmidt.
Didn't I say second? Oh, a second pitch for Schmidt too? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So second pitch for Schmidt. And then, and then Wilmer got something on his helmet. I mean, on his bat. From his helmet or his helmet from his bat? I don't know. You said you figured it out.
The pine tar was on his bat, and I guess he likes to touch his helmet in his load stance as part of his getting ready. And when he touched his helmet, instead of it bouncing off, it was slightly sticking to his helmet. And after that first pitch, he's like, nah, I can't do this. I got to get a new bat.
Yeah. You can't have the bat sticking to the helmet during your load.
No, you can't.
Yeah. No,
I feel uncomfortable just thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, and as we know from the George Brett incident, you can't have the pine tar too far up the bat. So he was right to get it fixed. So, okay, Matthew, I don't know if you know this, but I did listen to the Phillies broadcast.
I know. You're full. You want to be full schadenfreude.
All three of them, Matthew. I listened to all three of them.
Oh, what do you mean all three? They have a Spanish language? They have a
Spanish radio too, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Go Phillies.
In fact, I put together a little radio play that we could do to reenact the Spanish broadcast because it was so enjoyable.
Okay.
But anyway, so all the broadcasts, they complained about Wilmer. They were like, oh, what's he doing? I guess he doesn't have the right bat, blah, 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 blah. And, they were all confused. It was just sort of like, it's an inconsequential thing. There's clearly something wrong with his bat. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
He's got to fix it. He's fixing it, But typical Phillies people, they're like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God, he's doing something that I don't like. And then and he got angry about that, and he nearly took their pitcher's head off with the line drive up the middle.
He did.
Just doing normal Wilmer things. So, yeah. So that was like, and it was fast, Matthew. It happened fast. Except for the Jung-Hoo Lee incident.
It did because Patrick Bailey also jumped on the first pitch.
First pitch, man. First pitch.
Fastball, high fastball, slightly in, and he just turned on it, man.
Unloaded. It's like, where has this Patrick Bailey been? But then I remembered. That's what he do. Right?
Right. Had to be the right time.
Because everybody was getting bent out of shape early in the season. And I'm sure a lot of them still are. They're like, Patrick Bailey, how could his defense be this good? And I'm like, I finally decided, the same way that I got off of the Jung-Hoo Lee bandwagon, I moved to the front. I'm now riding shotgun on the Patrick Bailey bandwagon.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I like it. I can respect it.
Anybody comes up and is going to disrespect us, I'm going to shoot you in the face with my shotgun. That's a euphemism. I don't mean that for real. I don't know if I broke some law or anything like that, but I just want to.
I don't think so because you were just speaking in general terms.
That's right. Okay. So anyway, but that's how I feel about the Patrick Bailey thing. And you know what? Like, I don't care if he doesn't get hit. I think it hits. I think that's how good his defense is. It's so good we can't tell. Like, we can't tell how good it is. It's immeasurable. But I also do know this, that when Patrick Bailey gets hits, they're important ones. I also know that he is the most clutch hitter after the 7th inning for the San Francisco Giants since the beginning of 2021, including Lamont Wade Jr., a.k.a. Late Night Lamont, including Mike Yastrzemski. Nobody is more clutch than Patrick Bailey. And so, you know, that's why it happened. Does that mean he's going to go on a tear? Probably not. But it means that, like, when the World Series is on the line and you see Patrick Bailey coming to the plate, breathe easy, my friends. The victory is assured. And that's what happened. That's what happened.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it also got a major assist from Oracle Park, right? Well, an assist and a hindrance, because it would have been a home run in every other park in the major leagues besides Oracle. So it just gave us the drama of the inside the park. That's what it gave us. And, you know, hitting that concrete section right at the lip of the wall, I think made it bounce farther. Like the guy that was coming to back up, and I think they were all rotated, maybe. I don't remember. I don't know if the center fielder was backing up the right fielder or what, but the ball bounced by both of them. I mean, it just shot through them. And yeah, and once that happened, I was like, oh, I don't think that they're gonna get it. And yeah, and I just love their little blind throws that they made. Like, they were just picking up the ball and throwing blindly.
I liked it too, where he just back shuffled, he picked up the ball, and then he just chucked it. It was interesting because there was a bird's eye view of the whole play, Matthew, and you could see everybody, and you could see which of the Phillies players had decided the game was over. Like, the shortstop was already walking off the field. The first baseman was kind of just standing there. The right fielder kind of moving off the field. Third baseman moving off the field. Others were kind of hopeful. The catcher, you know, of course, had to stay there for the throw. But the guy who was most certain that it was over was the pitcher. But here's the thing. They had this bird's eye view, and you know who you could see perfectly during the whole play? Besides Patrick Bailey.
No, who?
Sarge.
Matt Williams?
Mr. Matt Williams. So I'm watching him during the play, and, you know, he's getting excited. He's doing his Flannery. You know, he's moving down. He's about 2/3 of the way down the baseline. And he's waving his arm wildly. And when the ball goes off the top of the wall, he goes into another gear, right? The windmill is just like, it's like hurricane force winds are hitting this sucker, right? And Patrick Bailey sees him, does the check, and as soon as Patrick Bailey hits third base, Matt Williams stops the windmill, pulls out a cigarette, lights it, and then just walks away. Like, as Patrick Bailey is sprinting by him, Matthew, he's just walking. He's walking down. He's like halfway down the Embarcadero to the Bay Bridge. Just strolling like Cool Hand Luke. The explosion just going off behind him as he just strolls out into the night. All of the Giants are pouring out of the dugout, streaming towards home plate, and Patrick Bailey, except one Giant, just old number 9, walking down Embarcadero. Just, you know, another job well done. God, that man is so cool.
You had me at the lighting the cigarette. But everything else in that part was true, I think. He did walk away,
yeah,
didn't he?
Did.
Yeah,
he did. He did. It was so cool. Oh, man. For you kids that didn't see him play in person, you missed it. He was so good.
I do have a question for you.
All right, yeah.
So we have seen 2 walk-off inside the park home runs in the last, I guess, so now 12 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
And Angel Pagan being the one in 2013. And then, obviously, Patrick Bales if you had to choose, which one was more like which one do you think was the better inside the park home run?
Oh, Matthew, I don't think you can choose between them. They're both walk-off inside the park home runs. Each one is special in its own right. They're both beautiful. I love them both equally. Kind of like...
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, okay. I want to just, there was a couple things that happened with the Angel Pagan one that were different.
All
One
right.
is it was an extra innings. It was extra innings.
Okay.
And there was no Manfred runner back. This was pre-Manfred.
Sure, I get it. Yeah, no Manfred runner, extra innings.
So you're in the 10th inning, right? So it just adds a little bit more kind of oomph to it. And then he pulled his hamstring.
Oh, whatever.
Like during that run or dive across the plate. You know, he had the Superman slide across home plate and all that. And just, so I thought that, he missed like 3 months.
Okay, so the man injured himself. That makes it better? Well, it was a more bang play. It was closer. But no, I think they're equally magical. And what's more magical than the bottom of the 9th? Nobody ever goes, the bottom of the 10th. Bases are loaded down by 3 in the bottom of the 10th of the World Series. They never say that.
Mister, I don't have an opinion on these things. Now all of a sudden you got an opinion?
I'm just saying neither one they're equally beautiful, Matthew, and you're trying to say one is more beautiful than the other.
I just asked you if one was more beautiful than the other. You think the answer is no?
No, I think the answer is no. They're equal.
All right. Yeah, no, it's so much fun seeing a play like that.
Right.
And
I agree.
And then hearing Dave Fleming's call on the radio.
Yeah.
And then of course Kruko.
Yeah.
Kruko, or Kuiper on
wonderful,
TV.
Whatever.
So Patrick Bailey got 2 Baileys on the moves.
Did he?
He did. He got 2.
Okay.
And this game is over.
Yeah. Yes, he did. I listened to Fleming's call. That was pretty epic. But
it was.
They don't hold a candle to the Phillies calls. On the radio, Matthew, they said after he crossed the plate in the aftermath of this disaster, as the house of horrors that is Oracle Park continues to haunt the Phils. I cackled wildly when I heard that one. But
say it again. What did he say?
As the house of horrors that is Oracle Park continues to haunt the Phils.
Oh, I like that we're the house of horrors.
I told you that, and then you went and did a little research. It's pretty bad, Matthew. It's pretty bad for the Phils.
Since Oracle Park has opened up, the Phillies have lost twice as many games as they've won in Oracle Park.
That's staggering.
On average, every 3-game series, they do what they did this time. There are 1 win and 2 losses every time they've come into Oracle Park.
Staggering. That's brutal. All right, but my favorite call, Matthew, was the Spanish language radio for the Phillies. Now, I'm not going to lie. I didn't fully understand everything that he was saying, but this guy was definitely calling it like a homer. Right? He read it like he was reciting, I don't know, the weather for a country he doesn't live in. Yeah. As Patrick. The only thing I understood as he did that was Bailey and, inside the park home run. Because, I can speak Spanish, but I can't understand it, which is unusual, but that's the way I roll. But then they said something that I did understand, and I thought maybe you and I could reenact it.
Oh, okay. This
is after they've just called the play. He's just crossed home plate. The game is over. He says the game is over, blah, blah, blah. Long silence. Then the play-by-play guy says, Increíble.
And then I say, Increíble pero cierto.
And then there was a long silence. And then the play-by-play guy said, Increíble. It was like the 2 saddest men. Just like, incredible. Incredible but true. Incredible. And that was it. I laughed really hard when I heard that one. That was my favorite. And that's why I listened to the Spanish language too.
All right. Well, as much as that was fun, I think we need to move on.
Oh, yeah.
Because nothing happened on Wednesday, and we don't need to talk about
Justin Verlander did not get Verlandered or anything like that. I will say this, Matthew. Verlander will not pitch against the Dodgers, so that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. That is a good thing. All right. Well, Ben, we're not even halfway through the season.
Matthew, what do you mean we're not halfway through this? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that?
Because the All-Star game hasn't even come yet, so we're not even halfway through the season.
That's what the halfway point is of the season, is the All-Star game. The All-Star game's a halfway point? Yeah,
is it?
Yeah. No. You know what's a halfway point of the season, Matthew? The actual halfway point. And you might think, oh, so July 1st then, right?
Somewhere around there.
No, 81 games, Matthew, which I know does not land on a convenient day for anybody. But that doesn't mean it wasn't the halfway point. Are you satisfied?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
So we're not even halfway through the
Stop
season.
it. Okay.
But I decided to do a little thing. I just was sitting there actually during the rally on before as Patrick Bailey was hitting that walk off inside the Parker. I got to thinking as I'm jumping up and down and like pumping my fist that like this feels like a new Giants team, like a Giants offense that maybe is better than what we've seen. Maybe, and we've talked about this, maybe it just needs to be just a little bit better, like above average.
Okay.
With us pitching staff would do it, right? And the fact that we've got Matt Chapman back, and now that Casey Schmidt is pretty much entrenching himself at second base, I feel like all of a sudden we have a lineup that can actually score some runs. And so I looked it up. Through June 30th, Ben, the Giants were ranked 24th in Major League Baseball with a weighted runs created plus of 95.
I am aware.
Okay, since July 1st, and I know it's, so 8 games, not counting today because it was, the Fangraphs doesn't update right away. But since July 1st, though, they've had a 101 weighted runs created plus, which is 14th in the major leagues.
And it's above average.
Exactly. Above average. It's all we need to win a couple games every series, right? Just above average offense.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this, Matthew. I've noticed, like I could feel it. I could feel that the Giants were a little bit better on offense. And it's funny because you're like 95 to 101. That's like what?
Doesn't seem like a
That's
lot.
6 points, and they're percentage points. So they're what? They're only 6% better. And no, they're actually better than that.
It's percentage of the 95.
That's right. Matthew, are you getting out your calculator to find out exactly how much 6 is of? Okay.
I am. Yeah.
I will. I'll delay.
It's 6.3%.
I'll take it. It's 6.3% better. And you know what? You'd be like, oh, what's a 6.3% discount? But you know what, folks? It adds up. You get a 6.3% discount on your runs allowed or increase on your runs scored per game, and it adds up over the season, folks. It really adds up. It's like that. It's like compounded interest, which I don't fully understand, but that's what ChatGPT told me. And like I've noticed. It's made a difference, and that's really all this pitching staff needs. I mean...
Right. I would imagine, and I don't have the numbers to back this up, but I imagine that 6.3% is like one extra hit when there's a runner on base. Just one extra hit maybe every 2 games even. Like it's so small, but yet so important.
I think... Okay, so Matthew, there's 9 guys on the team, right?
Are you trying to do math with me and like solve this?
Yeah, and there's 4 to 5 at-bats or plate appearances per game. And so that's like, what's 4.5 times 9? That's almost 45 minus 4. It's like 41, right?
Okay.
6% hits is like the 6% increase. That's like an extra hit or 2 per game.
Get out.
Okay, yeah, okay, but that sounds like what's the big deal? What's the big deal?
That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. That's a hit with runners on scoring position that you didn't get, which could score 2 runs. It might even be a double.
How many times in the first part of the season did we see situations where that extra hit would have been a big difference?
I'm pretty sure it was $1 billion. And so what's 6% of $1 billion? Well, a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
See, that's why math matters, folks. And
Stay in school, kids.
Who says we don't care about the sabermetrics? Do they even call it sabermetrics anymore? I don't think so. I don't think they've called it that since the 1930s.
Now I think it's just called baseball stats.
Advanced metrics.
Advanced metrics. That's right. That's the phrase. Yeah.
Well, I agree with you, Matt. It's all Matthew. It's all Casey Schmidt's fault. It's the Casey Schmidt effect.
It is. It's the Casey Schmidt effect. And I think, you have one more guy in the lineup that can move the needle. And so I'm excited. I'm excited, Ben. And just nobody get hurt. That's all, right?
Why did you say it? Why did you say it? I mean, I know it's true, but why did you say it? You didn't have to say it.
All right. Everybody just stay the same.
Just don't talk about it. This is like this is like the Willie Adamas thing that you did. Like, I don't know why you have to bring it up. Like, you know what this show should be? We should just come on. We should just be like, hey, Giants, huh? And then just cocktails. And then that's it. We just sit here in silence for 50 minutes and boom, that's the show. Because then we wouldn't jinx anything.
Okay. Well, I didn't know you believed in jinxes.
Matthew, how long have I been talking? How long have I been doing the bit with Robbie Ray and the hex? Like, I have beaten that thing to death.
Yeah, a hex is different than a jinx.
I didn't know. Okay, Matthew, tell us, what's the difference between a hex and a jinx? No, don't tell us. Don't do it. Don't tell us.
Okay. All right.
Matthew.
Yes.
Dodgers.
Oh, Dodgers. Ben, if we sweep the Dodgers, we'll only be 2 games out of first place.
It is if we don't sweep the Dodgers, we'll be 8 games out.
Well, but we were 9 games out.
That's true. Actually, now that you mention it, you're like, yeah, you know what, Matthew? We're playing with house money. You're right. We're playing with house money. You're right. Well, we got Robbie Ray coming. It's Robbie Ray Win Day, which is a real thing now. Right? Like, he doesn't have to win, but the Giants do. So Robbie Ray Win Day is going to be the last day of the season of the first half. And and we got Logan Webb going. We got those losers right where we want them. Plus, they're on a 6-game losing streak, and they're coming to our house. If we sweep them, Matthew, they'll have lost 9 in a row.
Well, I was looking at the Dodgers in the standings there. They're 56-38, but they have lost their last 6 games. They are only 23-21 on the road.
That's not good for them.
And they're only 20-22 versus teams that have a better record, a better than 500 record.
Okay, both of those stats are actually pretty good, but for the vaunted Dodgers, that's very pedestrian. Yeah. Right.
And which means that they're beatable is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like this is, and because the Giants happen to be playing at Oracle and they happen to be over 500. And so those 2 things alone would indicate that the Giants can be competitive with the Dodgers. And yeah, we got Logan Webb, Hayden Birdsong, and then Robbie Ray?
That's right. Robbie Ray.
3?
Mm-hmm. It's Robbie Ray Win Day. That's what I said.
That's right. So I'm feeling good about this series.
I'm feeling pretty good about it too. I'm feeling like we're gonna sweep.
You heard it here first, folks. Ben said we're gonna sweep.
Did you almost say you heard it here fart?
I started to burp when I said it, and it just came out funny.
Yeah, sure it did. Yeah,
I did. I burped.
It almost did come out funny. It almost came out fart.
The mezcal is a little strong, and I'm just like,
what is it with you and mezcal? Why are you such a wimp when it comes to the mezcal?
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
It is, Bob, but I got a confession to make before we get into the booze.
Oh, what's your confession?
I didn't set up the clocks before we started.
And we actually have been better.
And I tried to ballpark it.
I think you did a good job.
I did okay, but I'm looking at my record. We're under. So we got to stretch it out.
We're at 42 minutes. That's fine.
We got to stretch it out. Our
original goal was to be 45. We never get to 45. We actually have a chance to be at 45 minutes, Ben.
I don't want to be under.
Well,
all right. Okay, Bob, it's fine. Just continue.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I am drinking a said Smokey Watermelon Margarita. What's in that? Well, it's got 1.5 ounces of tequila. I'm using a reposado, but a Blanco would go nicely as well. 1/2 ounce of Mezcal. 3/4 ounces of fresh lime juice. 1/4 ounce of Elderflower liqueur. And 1/2 ounce of watermelon syrup. And I also added an absinthe rinse. So you're going to take a rocks glass and either with an atomizer, spray some absinthe on the inside or put a little bit of absinthe inside the glass and roll it around. You're going to add ice. And then meanwhile, you're going to put all the other ingredients into a cocktail shaker with ice, give it a good shake until well chilled. And then you're going to strain it into your prepared glass. And you get this smoky, watermelon-y type of drink that's actually quite refreshing. And the smokiness on the back end is actually pleasant. I like this drink. So that's what I'm drinking. Oh, I will say, though, if you're totally not a Mezcal person, which I can understand, then just do 2 ounces of tequila and omit the Mezcal. That's what I'm drinking, Bob. The Smokey Watermelon Margarita.
That's a tasty cocktail.
I like it. It's pretty good.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you. Folks, if you're not into Mezcal, you need to try harder. Also, Matthew, when are you going to run out of this watermelon syrup, dude? Like, how much did you make? Is it a bathtub? Like, what is going on?
I did make quite a bit, actually. It's amazing how much juice comes out of a watermelon.
It's it's called watermelon for a reason. It's basically all water.
And it's summer. I'm enjoying my watermelon syrup, okay? So you all get to enjoy it too.
Well, yeah, but just like there's no space for the rest of us to make our watermelon cocktail recipes.
Oh, there is space. Both of us can have watermelon recipes.
All right. You're forgiven. Bob, this week I'm drinking a watermelon daiquirita. Why is it a watermelon daiquirita? Because Matthew made a watermelon daiquiri already, and he's like I said, he's just sucking out all the space, or whatever the analogy is. I know that doesn't make any sense. Whatever, he's in the way. And what's in a watermelon daiquirita? Well, it has 1 ounce of Tequila Blanco. You could use fancier tequila, but I don't think that's needed in this case. Then it has 1 ounce of white rum. You could use a funkier or darker rum, but I think then that would intrude on the watermelon. Then you're going to have 2 large chunks of watermelon. That's right, folks. You don't need to pre-make your watermelon syrup. You just get the watermelon. Then you need 1/2 ounce of rich, simple syrup. You could use 1/4 ounce, quite frankly. We're using rich simple syrup, though, because the watermelon is going to add a lot of water to our cocktail, so we're trying to keep the liquid content low so we don't mess up the balance. Then you're going to have just 1/2 ounce of lime juice to add some tartness, but again, not too much because we don't want all of the excess liquid. You're going to put your watermelon chunks into a shaking tin or a mixing tin, and you're going to muddle that thoroughly, and then you're going to add your remaining ingredients and ice to your shaking tin and shake it until it is just chilled. Try to shake it a little bit less than you usually do to keep the liquid volume down. Then you're going to double strain that into a chilled stemmed cocktail glass and garnish it with a watermelon spear or half of a watermelon, whatever you want. How much ever watermelon you feel is appropriate. And that is how you make a watermelon daiquirita. I will say this, if you salt your rim, it will be even better. So try that out. And there you go, a watermelon daiquirita.
That's a tasty cocktail.
It was really good, Bob. I made a double and I guzzled it all at once. It was really good. And that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us. we will be back on Monday to review the Dodgers series after the Giants have swept them, and to conclude the first half of the season.
That's right.
It's not the first half. If you can't wait that long to get your fix, feel free to reach out to us on the social medias. You can find us everywhere there's a username of Giant Cocktails. If Giant Cocktails doesn't exist, we don't exist there, and you should leave. You can definitely find us on YouTube, where we go by the same username, so run over there to like, subscribe, and comment. You can also comment on Spotify. I check those about once every 2 months, so be patient. But most importantly, be sure to leave us a 5-star positive review on your podcasting platform of choice. If it's not 5 stars, don't bother. Matthew, it was great talking Patrick Bailey walk-off home runs with you and the Casey Schmidt effect. Until next time, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, Ben. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye!
Thank you for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. Until next time, bottoms up.
Ben, a hex is a deliberate magical curse.
Yes, that is what
Often
Robbie...
with serious or long-term negative consequences.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Like Robbie Ray put a hex on Justin Verlander.
That's
okay?
right.
Now, a jinx is more like a bad luck charm, like a superstition or mild curse that causes things to go wrong. Like Matthew mentioning Willie Adames puts a jinx on him.
Okay.
So a hex is usually intentional and malicious. A jinx is usually unintentional and less serious.
Okay. What I heard was hex, blah, 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 jinx, blah, 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 blah.
Just saying, there's a difference, okay? So you can't interchange the two.
Oh,
you just can't interchange them.
It sounds like a jinx is a subset of a hex. Like a jinx is a hex, but a hex isn't a jinx, necessarily.
A jinx is a hex, but a hex is not a jinx. I don't think so. I think they're both separate things. So jinxes...
Okay.
Jinxes are, first of all, from the Latin word jinx. Is it a spell or charm? No, inks. And then hex is from the German word hexe, which means witch.
Okay. Hey, what do you think of this? Shave and a haircut.
2 bits.